The Fibonacci sequence. One of the most famous patterns in nature is the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical sequence, where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, appears in many natural forms. For example, the arrangement of leaves on a stem, the pattern of petals and flowers, and even the spirals of seashells follow this sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is closely related to the golden ratio, an irrational number that appears in various aspects of art, architecture, and nature, contributing to aesthetically pleasing designs. Fractals. Fractals are self-similar patterns that recur at different scales in nature. A famous example is the branching pattern of trees and rivers, where each branch is a smaller replica of the whole. The coastline's jagged edge, the intricate structure of snowflakes, and the patterns of lightning also exhibit fractal geometry. Fractals are not just aesthetically fascinating. They also demonstrate how simple rules can generate complex and seemingly chaotic systems. The golden ratio. The golden ratio, approximately 1.618, is another hidden pattern that appears in nature. This ratio is seen in the spirals of galaxies, hurricanes, and even the human body. The ratio defines proportions that are pleasing to the eye, which is why it has been used in art and architecture for centuries. In nature, this ratio contributes to the growth patterns of plants, the structure of DNA, and even the proportions of animal bodies. Tessellations. Tessellations refer to patterns formed by repeating shapes that fit together without any gaps or overlaps. In nature, tessellations can be observed in the honeycomb structures created by bees and the scales of certain reptiles. These patterns are efficient, maximizing space while minimizing materials. The study of tessellations has influenced various fields, including architecture and materials science, by inspiring designs that are both functional and beautiful. Periodicity in nature. Periodicity refers to recurring patterns over time, such as the cycles of the moon, the changing of seasons, or the rhythmic beating of a heart. These patterns are governed by natural laws, including gravity, Earth's rotation, and biological rhythms. Periodicity helps organisms adapt to their environment, influencing behaviors like migration and sleep cycles. The study of these patterns reveals how time itself is structured in nature, driving the cycles that sustain life. The rule of thirds in nature. The rule of thirds is a principle often used in photography and art, but it also appears in nature. This pattern involves dividing a space into 9 equal parts and placing important elements along these lines or intersections. In nature, this can be observed in the placement of mountains, trees, or horizons within landscapes, creating a naturally balanced and aesthetically pleasing composition. Chaos theory and butterfly effect. Chaos theory in nature refers to systems that are highly sensitive to initial conditions, leading to unpredictable and seemingly random patterns. The butterfly effect, where a small change can have large consequences, is a famous concept within chaos theory. In nature, this can be observed in weather patterns, the spread of diseases, and even population dynamics. Chaos theory reminds us that nature is not always orderly and predictable. It is dynamic and full of surprises. Spontaneous order. Despite the chaos, nature often finds a way to create order from disorder. This phenomenon is known as spontaneous order, where systems naturally organize themselves without any central control. Examples include the flocking behavior of birds, the formation of galaxies, and even the development of ecosystems. Spontaneous order shows us that complex and organized structures can emerge from simple rules and interactions. Phyllotaxis. Phyllotaxis is the arrangement of leaves on a plant stem. This pattern is not random but follows specific mathematical principles, often related to the Fibonacci sequence. The spiral patterns formed by leaves maximize sunlight exposure, ensuring that each leaf gets enough light without overshadowing others. This efficient arrangement can also be seen in the seed patterns of sunflowers and pine cones, where nature optimizes space and resources through mathematical precision. Lattice structures in crystals. Lattice structures are the repeating geometric patterns found in crystalline materials, such as snowflakes, diamonds, and various minerals. These patterns are formed at the atomic level, where molecules are arranged in a regular, repeating grid. The precise, symmetrical patterns of crystals are a result of the specific ways atoms bond together, reflecting the inherent order in the molecular world. These structures are not only beautiful, but also fundamental to the properties of the materials they compose. Turing Patterns. Named after the famous mathematician Alan Turing, Turing patterns describe how spots and stripes develop in animal coats, such as the stripes of a zebra or the spots on a leopard. These patterns are the result of reaction-diffusion systems, where two chemicals interact and spread at different rates. Turing's theory explains how simple chemical reactions can create complex and diverse patterns in nature, contributing to the camouflage and identity of various species. Allometry. Allometry refers to the growth pattern of organisms where different parts of the body grow at different rates, yet in a proportionally harmonious manner. This pattern can be seen in the way a tree's branches grow in proportion to its trunk, or how an animal's limbs grow relative to its body size. Allometry ensures that organisms develop functional forms as they grow, balancing strength, weight, and function. This principle also explains why large animals like elephants have thicker limbs than smaller animals like deer, reflecting the need to support greater mass. Logarithmic spirals. A specific type of spiral, the logarithmic spiral, can be observed in phenomena such as the arms of galaxies, the shells of certain mollusks, and even the horns of some animals. Unlike the more common spirals, logarithmic spirals maintain their shape regardless of their size, a property known as self-similarity. This pattern is often linked to the growth processes in nature, where the form remains consistent as it scales up, representing both beauty and efficiency in natural design. Voronoi patterns. Voronoi patterns divide a plane into regions based on the distance to a specific set of points. These patterns naturally occur in the structure of cells, the arrangement of seeds and fruits like pomegranates, and the cracks in dried mud or soil. Each region or cell in a Voronoi diagram corresponds to a unique point, and all locations within a region are closer to its specific point than to any other. This pattern demonstrates how nature optimizes space, often under conditions of stress or competition. Spiral galaxies. On a cosmic scale, the structure of spiral galaxies represents one of the most stunning, hidden patterns in nature. These galaxies, including our Milky Way, exhibit a spiral shape with arms that wind out from the center. The formation of these spirals is influenced by the gravitational forces acting on stars and cosmic dust, creating patterns that are both mathematically intriguing and visually breathtaking. The spiral arms are regions of active star formation, showcasing how this pattern influences both the structure and evolution of galaxies. Circles and spheres. Circles and spheres are efficient shapes found in nature due to their minimal surface area for a given volume, making them ideal for minimizing energy. Raindrops form spherical shapes due to surface tension, and planets and stars are spherical because gravity pulls matter equally towards the center. Circles also appear in the eyes of animals, the cross-sections of tree trunks, and the ripple patterns on water surfaces. These shapes demonstrate how nature often favors efficiency and balance. Hexagonal patterns. Hexagons are prevalent in nature due to their efficiency in covering space without leaving gaps. The most iconic example is the honeycomb structure built by bees. This pattern is incredibly efficient in terms of material use, allowing bees to store the maximum amount of honey with the least amount of wax. Hexagonal patterns are also found in the basalt columns of the Giant's Causeway, the patterns on a tortoise's shell, and the compound eyes of insects. The hexagon's balance of structural integrity and resource efficiency makes it a recurring pattern in the natural world. This video is for educational or entertainment purposes only, and information provided in the video may be incorrect. Like the video if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing videos.